are sweaty. Knees weak. Arms are heavy. Oh, this is so bad for my heart. He can't. What crap did I just watch? Is she like a sadist or something? What's wrong with her? Hello fellow anime geeks and welcome to another First Impressions review on my journey to try all of the things. And finally, my venture into 2021 spring. As usual, I'm organizing my thoughts by answering these 4 questions, and today's anime is going to be a little bit difficult for me because I'm the complete opposite of the target demographic. Ijiranaide Nagatoro-san, or Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, on Crunchyroll. The mouth tags are slice of life, comedy, and romance. And I think comedy slice of life is actually a good descriptor because this is a series of short, sort of comical interactions between a boy and a girl. Think Takagi-san, just older, more mature, fan-servicey, and definitely more pervy. So it's romantic in the sense that we play out a very specific romantic fantasy set to our usual high school setting, but there's not much in the way of an actual romantic plotline in the first third of this show. It does, however, thankfully slow down to build up a little bit more heart after the initial shock value. Let me explain. Our protagonist is a shy high school kid who usually keeps his head down as a way of coping with bullies. One day after school, he meets another sadistic bully and her obnoxious friends in the guise of this pretty high school girl. She belittles him and his passions, completely mentally and physically terrorizes him, and just emasculates him in a scene that just had me wondering what in the world I was watching. Is this supposed to be a love story? Because that was such awful bullying, like what? But she's cute, so it's okay. Because she's sadistic and enjoyed his reactions throughout this whole ordeal, she develops an interest in him and begins to follow him around. Her teasing also becomes more sexual in nature, and so, in my opinion, things actually start to get a little bit better because her teasing is more about wanting to share experiences with him at that point and less about trying to just belittle him as a human being.
Jack, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls.
And things actually begin to get even better as we begin to see more normal interactions between the two of them and more interactions within her social circle. We begin to see that her behavior towards him actually reveals some sort of favoritism. In fact, I started finding myself rooting for her to just tear into any guy that was not our protagonist with her icy indifference. Yes, good. Crush his soul. Wait, why am I... In terms of originality, I think that this definitely deserves some points for creating such an insane and unique love interest, let alone character. It kind of reminds me of Tonari no Kaibutsu. Both of the romantic interests are unhinged in some sort of way, exhibit these extreme actions that point to some sort of psychological or emotional issue, and our protagonist just happens to have the exact personality that is capable of disarming them. The premise wasn't very original. Like I said, this kind of feels like a more pervy, harsher version of Takagi-san. The art is really nice though. It has this very nostalgic feel. For some reason, it just reminded me of Megami-sama, but it's probably just any 2000s rom-com sort of anime. The opening and the ending were really cute. I felt like they were really in the spirit of the rest of the show. The kind of sketched lines and color blocks really helped to tie in our protagonist's passion for art. The fan service was also good. It was very well placed. It wasn't just like random skirt fluttering shots. It made some of those heart-racing situations a bit more heart-racing. Forgive me, I'm gonna go blush now. So, is it worthwhile? Well, I think this anime was very obviously not made for me. Not only am I a prude who just doesn't like fan service in general, it was really uncomfortable for me to step into somebody else's like masochistic romantic fantasies. Probably how a guy would feel reading some sort of racy Harlequin novel where the protagonist is some sort of super wealthy, jealous, overprotective vampire. I've also just never really thought violence is funny just because a cute girl is doing it. And I've never liked it in reverse either. There's tsundere and then there's just being a jerk. But romantic fantasy is romantic fantasy, and this is pretty well done for what it is. It's just not for me. And on that note, I'll catch you in the next video. Why is she so awful? Okay, that's kinda nice. Oh, just let him go home. How about you just don't bully him? Well, I guess if he's alright with her being a crazy